Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin Cash. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. There's also going to be a donation link down below in the description. Feel free to donate to the kids in Gaza. And now let's jump into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, Bitcoin Cash saw a massive breakout here, and we pumped from June into the end of June, and we approximately did, let's try to measure this move here, 259%, and then we saw a nice dip below $176. We did give you this support level before we dropped there. I told you that this would be a great entry point, and we just wicked through that level there, and since that touch you're up approximately 40%, which is also not too bad. You can see we're printing some sort of a nice uptrend here. If we zoom in on the daily chart, this is a bit of a different chart. You can see we are printing higher lows, but we are running into this resistance level here between $277 to $265. I do think once we are able to get to the apex, we might have a nice breakout, and we could be targeting this local top at $306. From where we are right now, that is a potential 22% move to the upside. Of course, there is also the potential of a breakdown, and that is a more bearish scenario. Now, if the ETF is going to bring a lot of attention to Bitcoin, we might start flying and altcoins will start breaking out of their major resistances. That is a possibility. But if they end up delaying the ETFs and they end up postponing the decision until March, then we could have a crash. The markets are gonna, if the expectation is for the ETF to be accepted, if we don't get that, of course, there's going to be a pullback, a crash, whatever you want to call it. And in that case, you could start targeting some of these local support levels. So $217 is going to be a nice one. Then you have $224. So essentially all of these lows are going to be great entry points. So you can just set up a support block here. As you can see, we did wick to that area multiple times, and this was resistance over here in September. We broke above and we kept back testing this as support. We can even drag it out to that area there. So this is going to be between $221 down to $210. Great level for us to retest if you want to get some coins in this area. That's going to be a great entry point. Of course, all the way down here at $100 and below was even better. And we were making videos on Bitcoin Cash down here, and I kept telling you guys that these are good buying opportunities. We had this massive red block between $105 to $89, and we ended up touching that block a few times throughout 2022 and 2023, and then we broke out. So now we're going to be creating another support level as sort of our basement, as our ground level, and then we're going to be having another move to the upside from there, hopefully. So losing $210 would be quite a negative statement from Bitcoin Cash, and that would potentially signal the fact that we're going to be coming back down to some massive support levels, major support levels, I should say. So $184 is going to be that major support level for us to retest if this block is lost. And below that, below 184, I would say you can just keep dollar cost averaging up until you find your local bottom at the time. I personally don't think we're going to be dropping down to these prices here. I don't think that's going to be happening. It is possible we drop below 184, and in a super bearish outcome we come down to $145, which is essentially a retest of these two highs. That is a possibility, only in a very bearish scenario, because that would take us down approximately 41%, which is quite a deep pullback for a high cap altcoin like Bitcoin Cash. Now, I do want to switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the weekly, you can see we did have a Fibonacci retracement with targets to the downside, and we met the 1.618 on the dot. So $101.45 was a perfect entry based on this fib that we had. So it was set up from the swing high in April 2021 at approximately $1,400 down to this swing low in February 2021. And then we lost that level. We back tested it as resistance. So that level is going to be very important for us to break at approximately $400. And from there, we had a capitulation and we printed the first bottom. And that was exactly the 1.618 that we were looking at. And then we retested that level a few times here. So you had quite a bit of time, like a full year, to accumulate at these levels to get your Bitcoin Cash coins. And if you did that, great. Right now, we're once again accumulating in this triangle here on the weekly chart with a potential breakout. And we could be targeting $377 with this potential breakout. And that is a massive resistance level from March 2022. Once again, that sent us into this massive crash. So that can be retested one more time before we eventually break above. So I'm not saying we're going to break above it, but at least a retest of that is a possibility here. That would take us up approximately 50%. If we have an ETF euphoric breakout for all of these altcoins, then Bitcoin Cash can certainly do a 50x in my opinion. But again, that's being a bit too bullish. So I would stay more conservative. In fact, if you want to buy more Bitcoin Cash tokens, then I'd probably hope for a breakdown from this pattern, which, like I said, we don't know what's going to be happening. It's going to get very, very volatile during these next few days. So if we do get a breakout, that's good news for you because you can accumulate more tokens. However, Bitcoin Cash is looking strong on the weekly chart. We're bouncing off the 20 EMA as support. That is exactly what you need to be doing. The 20 EMA is going to be your support band during the bull market. We had a nice cross with the 55 EMA here, which confirmed the bull market for Bitcoin Cash. We're holding $223 perfectly. So the chart is actually looking very bullish, and this potential breakout to the upside is looking very good as well. And we can even measure the move here and see what kind of a target we're gonna have. So yeah, that would probably take us up to $377. As you can see, that's roughly where this target is gonna take us. And we can also set up a Fibonacci retracement from this bottom in December 2022 up to that level there. So in this instance, you can see we have the golden ratio at $500, roughly $500. The 0.5 is around 366, which is close to the target that we just discussed. And then the 1.272, which is going to be our minimal bull market target, is at $2,931. Then again, I would not expect this thing to start breaking all-time high prices. It didn't really do that in 2021 here. As you can see, we printed a lower high. So there is still even a chance for us to print a lower high here and then roll over into the next bear market. So I would be very cautious with your predictions for Bitcoin Cash. I'm not a perma bear or anything like that. I'm just being realistic because you don't want to hold your bag until you get to $3,000 to $5,000 just because that's what you want to happen. Even though Bitcoin is printing all of the bearish signals that you can possibly imagine and people are going to be selling, and you're going to be holding your bag of Bitcoin Cash just because you want to sell at 5,000. I'm just trying to warn you that that's a possibility there. So instead of that happening, I would suggest you start taking profits along the way and then maybe leave 10 to 20% of your bag after we break the all-time high here, or rather the high from 2021. And, if we go higher, then sell the rest 20% at higher levels. But I would, be careful with these OG coins because, like I said, they haven't been performing well in the past bull market in terms of the 2018 high. So there's a chance it's going to happen again. Taking a look at the weekly RSI, we are printing higher lows, which is very nice. I would target this pink trend line for entries. We had 3 bounces already since June 2022. So another one here in, February, March, January, whenever. We could have another one, and that would be a great entry point. So just draw this out. Keep your eyes on this RSI. The stochastic is starting to roll over. And if indeed we do have a pullback and you find the stochastic down here below the index of 20, that is a great buying opportunity. As for the volume, let's see what's going on here. So we did get a bit of volume in June last year when we had the initial pump, but not much after that. So we were kind of, in this symmetrical triangle, just going sideways, and a lot of price suppression going on right now, and price suppression, or compression, I should say, leads to expansion, and we could have a nice expansion to the upside. But that's it for Bitcoin Cash. I gave you a few support levels, a few targets to the upside. Of course, the 200 EMA on the weekly is also going to be a massive resistance level for us. So keep an eye on that. If you're trying to swing trade this and enter for a short to mid-term trade, you can look at a few targets like the 277 range, which is the low from June, or rather January 2022. You also have the 200 EMA, and then you have the April-March 2022 high. So all of these levels can be nice take profit points for you. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe and have a great day.